Welcome to the Warrior series. Today we're going to explore the warrior character trait of passion. Passion's a big one, and for me, the Torah personality that represents passion is Dovid Hamelech. He was fiery. He represents the idea of passion that is this barely controllable emotion, but when used for positive purpose, can be pointed and to a target and achieve more than anything possible without it. And Dovid Hamelech did essentially that. When he fought against Goliath, who was a huge giant who terrorized the Jews, and everybody was afraid of him, little Dovid came with his passion and zest for God and for the Jewish people, and he took a little rock and a slingshot, and he toppled this bully with a little rock, and good won over evil without even it being proportional. And that's really what passion does. It allows us to execute our purpose with vigor. And when we know our purpose, we can then do that. We can utilize our passion and create so much, add value, add meaning, add goodness to this world that really, really needs it. Sometimes people are very clear on what their purpose is. And some people are very clear on what they're passionate about. But because in this series, I want it to be extremely practical, I want to highlight ways that if you're not clear on what your purpose is, or if you're not clear on what you're passionate about, you can ask yourself some questions to get that clarity. Because once you have the awareness, you can beget change. And you can then say to yourself, I am very aware that I am passionate about this, or I am purposeful about this. And then you can match your passion to your purpose. So if you are not sure about what your purpose is, I would ask you to ask yourself, what do I have within my talent, skill set, ability to add value to this world? And it does not matter how small you think it might be. It doesn't actually matter, because every single thing is necessary. So if you choose even the smallest aspect of yourself to add value to this world, and you do that, then that will grow. And the more you are able to share this purpose, you will get excited about it, you will feel good about it, and that will energize your passion. If you are not sure what your purpose is, or you're not sure what your values, what value you can share with the world, then I would ask you to check in with yourself about what things make you feel the best during your days. So what do you get fired up about? What do you feel happiest doing? What do you feel just excited about? Because when you are touching your passion, you will feel this flame of this is it, or even like, I want to do more of this. And then you're going to get clarity on whatever it is that you need to do. So you can have the clarity of the purpose and you can have the clarity of the passion, but both are necessary in order to effectuate change. And when you are able to have clarity of purpose and anchor your passion for this clarity of purpose, that's when you enter warrior status. And when I spoke to Ofek, this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman who lost her husband Dvir in this war, who sacrificed her husband, and he sacrificed himself for us, we really saw how his commitment to living a passionate life and living life 100%, connecting his feeling and desire to living every day 100%, led to a peacefulness around his completion of mission in this lifetime. And because we never know what's going to be, and we never know the impact that we can have, and we never know what we're meant to do here, what we do know is that by creating purpose and by charging our passion towards that purpose, we're doing everything that we can.
So I'm sitting here with Ofek.
Hi.
We met last month.
Yeah,
we spent 3 amazing days together, and I got to know so much about her husband, Dvir, Zacharna Levracha. And we're going to talk a bit about the character trait of passion that we are exploring as a warrior trait. So, Ofek, this podcast is exploring warrior traits, so traits of the warriors that we have fighting for us and that have fought for us. And when we discussed who Dvir was, the character trait that came up is passion.
Yeah, right.
And the Torah personality that comes up for me when I think of passion is Dovid Hamelech. So he was the most passionate.
Dovid. His second name is Dovid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that. You see?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So Dovid Hamelech was like the epitome of passion, with a fiery force to fight for Hashem, the Jewish people, Am Yisrael. And so I would love for you to share with everybody listening about Dvir and about how he personified this character trait of passion.
Dvir was in the army. He was in Keva, it's called. He was 13 years in the army. And he was in a tank. He was tank commander. And he did everything that he needs to do in the tanks. And he was, it's called Samgad. It's Sgan Mefaked Gdud. It means that he's the second in the Gdud after the Magad. And he was just with such great passion. I can tell you one story about him. I was so impressed when I heard it. He was in the army for 13 years, but he moved a lot of other things, and he wasn't in the tanks for 9 years. And when they knew they are going to Gaza, he didn't know nothing. He forgot everything about the tanks, and he didn't know what to do and how to do it. 9 years without the tanks, it's like 9 years
also
without...
the equipment changes, doesn't
Yeah.
it? They have upgrades.
It was
military
in tank
equipment.
that it's called Merkava 3, and it's an older tank, and now it's Merkava 4, so it's another tank at all, and he didn't know
Right.
nothing, not to talk about the 9 years that he wasn't in the tank at all, but he didn't know nothing. And I remember that I talked with him, there were 3 weeks in the Shetche Kinus before the Knisa, and he told me, I'm going to learn about the tanks. I told him, what? Why do you need to learn about the tanks? And he told me, why not? I'm going to be in the tank. I need to learn like any other soldier. And I was like, okay, but you're a commander. You can say a lot of things and tell them what to do in the tank. Go, fire. You don't need to learn it in yourself. And he told me, no. If I'm doing it right, and I need to learn about the tank, and I need to know what I'm doing. So in the 3 weeks they were in the Shetche Kinus, every day that he had an hour free or something like this, he wasn't talking with me, not with Ariel. He was in the tank, and he learned about the tank. And when he got in, he was in a really good place with the tanks, and he knew what to do. And I can tell you that there's thing in the tank that's called the Prisat Zachal. There's the necklace around the tires. They're not really tires, but tires that go. And if it breaks, just the tank don't move, can't move. And they need to fix it in the Shetach, in Gaza. There was a lot of times that they do it in the Gaza without any shield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really scary for me.
Yeah.
He told me it's not, but I promised you that he just said that, so I won't worry. But I can tell you that he helped everyone in the Gdud to really release it and to do it. And I was so proud of him, because it wasn't an ego thing for him. He didn't care at all if he's Rav Seren, that is the guy, it's the falafel thing. He didn't care about it. He just wanted to do everything right, like any other soldier. And that was really something that I thought, wow, it's like, I don't have such a passion for everything in life to learn like he did. So it's really amazing for me.
Well, really, that's the whole purpose of this. We want to learn from him. So we're going to explore like who he was and what he loved to do. And then we're going to talk about ways that you and I and everybody that's listening to this could perpetuate this character trait in their life, because that's how we keep him alive.
Right.
So the way I look at passion is it fuels purpose, right? So if you have a purpose, and then the passion is like the motor for the purpose.
Yeah.
So tell us some other ways that Dvir exercised passion in this life full of purpose.
I think Dvir, the purpose of his life was to have children. Like, for sure. I think that from the moment I knew him, the very first thing he told me, I was 19 when I met him, and he was 26. And the very first thing he told me, I want children. I want to do it. I want to do it fast. Like, I don't need to wait for something. And I was neither. I want to be a mom from 15, so I knew that when I met him, great, I have someone 26 who will want to marry me. Perfect. And when we got to do Ariel, he told me I want to be home with him. Because in the army, you don't get to see the children very much. I saw him in the first year, I think, 1 weekend, 2 weekends. That's the part of the job in the army. And he really want to be with Ariel at home. So he was like very calculated. We will get pregnant in September, and then I go to school, and then I will have time with him. And we really did it. So I think he was really, really want to fulfill everything in life. Like, he really want to do everything that he can, to live everything, to explore everything. I remember that I talked with my friends, and they told me, yeah, my husband helping me at home with the children. I was like, Dvir is not helping me. He's like, night shift? Yeah, I got it. I was
doing everything.
Doing everything, like everything at home, everything at life. It was just a partner, not someone that helps me, like a full partner for everything. So I think that it was really the passion of his life to do everything and to fulfill everything and to explore everything. Because, you can do...
To the max.
Yeah,
like
to the max.
You were telling me before everything that he did, whether it was like
it was
exercise
so much
or
to the
barbecuing or anything, was like this.
Yeah. It wasn't like 50% or it was 100% and 150% or nothing. Like, you go to the straight way or you don't go at all with Dvir. I remember that it was so frustrating sometimes, because I told him, go home, tell him you're in the base, but go to sleep with me. And he was like, no, I'm not lying to everyone. I'm not doing this. When I can come home, I will come home. But when not, no. I was like, okay.
See, when you know that you were getting the other way as well.
Yeah, I get
the same character trait was returned to you.
Yeah, it was just such a great person, really, such an honorable person.
We're connecting passion to Dvir, but is there anything else that, like, when you think of him, you think this was him that you want to share?
I think he was just such an humble guy. In the Levaya, I think there was 3,000 people, something like this. And I remember that I came to the Levaya before we have a preda. We can meet him if we want. Each family choose what they want. And I came to the Bet Almin, and I saw all the people, and I was like, if he knew what's going on here, he will put someone in the entryway. He was like, no, you know. And it's not because he doesn't like people, but he was so humble that I think in his life, what he would want, it was just the family, the closest friend. We will all sit together and gathering and talk about him in the funny way that we want to talk about it. But it was the most humble guy that I knew. And he was the best friend that I knew to his friend. I was all the time talking with him. I told him, you have 27 hours in a day. I don't understand how you talk with this friend and with this friend and with this friend. And you gave everyone such a great friend experiment. It was like he was best friend with every friend that you talk to them.
This is the 100%.
Yeah.
That everybody that he was with, he just gave them 100%.
I remember that every time that he was like driving to home, I was waiting and waiting. He told me half an hour. Okay, I'm waiting half an hour. 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. I'm like calling him in Mamtina, and I don't understand why. And then he come home and he told me, No, I was with a friend and I talked with him on the phone and I couldn't hang up. And I was like, okay, you couldn't hang up, but I'm waiting here. But it was just so pure for a friend and so pure for a husband. He gave it right back to me. It doesn't say that it wasn't with me also, but it was just a pure person, really pure person.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm thinking about all that we shared for the 3 days, and it was what I was sharing then was how every single person, like when I hear about Dvir, I'm thinking this complete human being, this absolute warrior that was able to make every single second of his life count, and how we can be better humans by learning from him. The slogan for this podcast that I'm doing is a pasuk from Kohelet. It says, "V'hachayitin el libo," which means that the living must take to heart. And I feel like the biggest way we can honor Dvir and this ultimate sacrifice that he gave and that you gave and that your son, your 2-year-old son gave, is to take the traits that he embodied during this lifetime and practice it more in this life.
Yeah, I think the one thing that every person needs to take from Dvir is the no grudge. Like, even if someone insulted him or said something not nice to him, he didn't take it to the heart. I remember that he had some feud with his friend, and the friend said to him something that was hurtful. And after that, a few months after that, they didn't talk so much. And here and there, they got together to play tennis. And I told Dvir, how can you go and play tennis with this person? Like, he hurt you. And he told me, I don't care. Like, I didn't take it to the heart. He's a friend of mine. And if I want to go playing with him, and that's something that fuel our relationship, so that's what I will do. I don't take it to the heart, and I don't care what he said. He told me that it can be from something that hurt to the friend, and it doesn't take it to the heart. And I think that's something so pure to life, to not be angry all the time. Because I think in the race of the life, we can be so angry all day about little things that they're not really meaningful to nothing. It's like just the sentence, there's no life and death. And after the death, I got to know that I'm saying it a lot. זה לא חיים ומוות, כאילו, or things. But it really is life or death. Because there is death in every corner that we don't see the day to day, but it really is. And someone that we love can die in the next minute and we won't know it. So I think we really need to work on ourselves to not get everything on our heart, because it's just so waste of time to be so angry and frustrated with everything. We need to live the life without any regret at all. Because I think, his friend, the one that I told, came to the Levaya and came to the Shiva, and he was really upset about everything and the relationship. And I told him, don't be. Like, Dvir doesn't matter at all, and he didn't care. He loved you, it all it out, and it's really what I take from him. Like, if someone is now trying to give me negative energy or things like this, I'm just like, not now. Like, I don't have the power for this. I'm with good energy now. I'm trying to be with good energy, because we have such hard time in life. We don't know when it comes. I didn't think that at the age 26 I will be a widow and I will experience this much pain. So I'm just trying to be like Dvir, without bad energy, just good energy, so I can live life.
So much is coming up for me while you're talking, because firstly, what you were saying about that he lived 100%, 150% in everything that he did, including forgiveness.
Yeah.
So like
much.
it was just like going forward,
Yeah,
and just not allowing, but really he gave this man the biggest gift by going to play tennis with him.
Yeah.
Because if he wouldn't have done that, then there wouldn't have been an outward sharing of, hey, I'm really not holding a grudge. He
Really?
could have just within himself just
but
been
the
like,
person didn't know it. Really.
right, but he doesn't have to live his whole life
thinking, oh, maybe Dvir actually
with
was
regret.
her, right?
Yeah.
So what you said resonated because he took the time out to go and connect to him on the level that he could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It really was a pure person. It's not just a slogan that people say after the death. It really was.
Yeah.
It was just an honor to meet him and to be with him. I'm telling you all the time, like people ask me, if you knew what's going to happen, would you say no? Like, no.
No. Yeah.
Not even without Ariel, if I'm leaving him out of the question, I still want to be with Dvir 100% because I think he gave my life a purpose. Like now I know what my purpose in life, to tell about him and to really tell people how to be a better person, because I think we all need to be better persons.
Yeah.
All the time. We all the time need to work on ourselves to be a higher person. That's the purpose.
And when you were saying about like it's not life or death, right? It doesn't have to be life or death. Like living with we can always die. It's not so much the fear based of, well, what if we die tomorrow?
No, not the fear at all.
It's so much more like, well, death can come at any, exactly.
Yeah, we need to live.
We need to live. And how do you want to live?
Yeah.
How do you want to live? And Dvir looked at the mirror and he said, I have a purpose and I'm going to live that purpose through passion and I'm just going to go for it. And he did that.
I can tell 100% that if you ask Dvir before it, of course he didn't want to die and everything, but if you ask him, if you want to die at the road, someone will just go over you and you will die, or you want to die at the war? Of course at the war, like no question at all. You want to protect everyone. And after the 7th October, he was really horrified about everything that happened and everything that could have happened more. And he just want to say, we're going to Gaza, really there was an interview that they did and Dvir was interviewed there, and he told, I'm going here and I'm staying here, how much they will need, so everyone can collect their oranges on the field near Gaza and everyone can be protected, because that's what we want. It's a life or death to this country right now. I think so, and I really fear for what will come to us in the end, because I think that everyone really wants to destroy us now. We're in this torment, this thing that we need to see what's going on with our lives. Like if they were going to be a war in Lebanon and not, it's really a thing that we need to see what's going on.
We're going to win.
Yeah, of course. No. With an army like that.
The question is, how can we not lose so many warriors?
Lose so many warriors and everything. Each name that I learn and I see, it's like, it's a whole world. Everyone is a whole world.
If somebody were to ask, like, what could we do for the moms or the wives that really gave us everything they got, right? They gave us their husband or their son. What could the world do for you?
I think it's not, everyone wants to help in like the material stuff, but I think it's not really the material stuff that really matter to us. It's funny. We're really transparent. Like when I go in the street, no one knows, it doesn't write in my forehead, widow, no. But I think that everyone is also doesn't want to see it. Because if you will look really closely, you will see that I have a necklace and it's Dvir, and you can see that I'm not mourning, but you can see. I think we all can see about a person that is hurting if we really want to pay attention. But I think we don't want to pay attention because we have so much in our lives that we don't want to pay attention to others' life because it can break you if you see it. So I think we do need to pay attention for the people that are hurting, but I think we need to also do it not in a pressure way. Because if I walk in the street and someone recognizes me and they do me, it's also not nice. Like, don't do it. Don't do. No.
Right. So
but I think,
no pity.
No pity, because we don't need
strength.
pity. Yeah, I think we just need the strength and the love and the hug sometimes. And just to say the right things. There's no right things to say, but just to say, we're here with you. If you need something, call me. You need me to come at 7 o'clock to pick up the kids? Great. Yeah. You need me to come to do the dishes? Great. The trash? Great.
To show up.
Yeah,
you want
to
people
show up,
to show up.
To show up, just to say, hey, I'm here. That's the thing we need. We don't need the money or anything of this. It's help, but it's not really what we need.
Well, I know for me, like I wanted to create a space of love, and I think I shared this with you that I came to give love, and I actually got so much love, and for sure that I have learned about Dvir through you. So his passion for life, having a purpose and letting that passion drive the purpose, it radiates out of you.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to radiate out of your son.
Of course.
So we're going to be able to, were you able to make that picture book that you were working on?
I'm working on storybooks. A picture book, I would give him all the picture that he have with his dad. I'm such lucky that my husband loved to take pictures of himself. I'm not, and he did. So I have tons of pictures of him with Ariel. So it's just so much luck because I'm able to do a full book.
Well, that was just, it wasn't luck. It was him choosing
to
live life 100%.
Yeah, just see and to fulfill everything with him. And I'm doing like a storybook for every friend of Dvir and every person that met him on the way to tell us a story for Ariel. So he will get to know his father, not just through me and my story, and just through all of his friends' story. And yes, they're sending it to me, and it's just amazing story about him and his personality and things I knew, but things it's always so nice to hear that he was just who he was, the person he was.
And the whole world's better off knowing him.
Yeah, so much.
I'm better off knowing him, and for sure knowing you.
Yeah, he was just a great person, and I think he was just radiant of happiness. Like everyone that was near him was just happy, and he was such a funny person and so positive person. I think everyone needs to be just a little bit Dvir, because he was just amazing
just
person.
a little bit Dvir.
Yeah, just a little
That's
bit
really
Dvir.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.